Hello and welcome to another module on Advertising Standard Council of India, a part of MOOC on Media Law and Ethics. This module will tell you about what is ASCI, when it was started, what was the context in which ASCI was formed, and what kind of functions they contribute. How do they maintain the standards of advertising industry in India? So, these kind of things we will come to know about from this lecture based on some case studies, some data, and about the structure and functions of ASCI. To begin with, I will tell you about some data, a recent data, 2018 data, which will give you an idea about what kind of interventions ASCI is making on advertising industry. July 2018, the Advertising Standard Council of India investigated complaints against 295 advertisements. For 79 advertisements, the advertisers ensured corrective action, which means that closer to 26 to 27% of the advertisers have come forward to take the corrections from the ASCI and to make the corrections. Others are reluctant and they had different persuasive methods to make them to comply with what ASCI was telling. And if you look at the most common thing that was violating the standards in India, I will give you a clue. Will it be gold industry, or will it be real estate industry, or will it be political parties or something, or will it be something to do with education? You just think about it. We can find the answer in a couple of minutes. Actually, the most common reason for upholding complaints was superlative claims by advertisers, especially for education sector advertisements. Only people from the industry in which education is offered as a service, they had superlative claims, and that disturbed the ASCI and they have intervened most. So, that was a major segment in which ASCI had to intervene and correct them to follow the standards. The claims were unsubstantiated and misleading, that they provide 100% placement or they are the number one in the domain. So, they said that education industry, particular institution is the number one in the country. When everybody is claiming number one, then who is number two and who is number three? Such kind of confusion will come in the minds of the beneficiaries. So, number two, that they are offering 100% placement, where when you look into the records, that is not the case. So, education industry was the first one, apart from other than or much more than the gold industry or real estate or even political parties. Education industry is the one that misled or that gave very wrong information to the public. The other reasons comprised making claims which were misleading by ambiguity, exploiting consumers' lack of knowledge, are likely to lead grave disappointment in the minds of consumers. So, it is misleading by ambiguity, giving some wrong information, as we saw in the education industry, some kind of giving all the industry that they try to make the people deceive and try to convince their arguments. Number two is exploiting the lack of knowledge of the public on particular domain. Number three is to give grave disappointment on the minds of the consumers by giving such kind of information that you are giving a wrong impression and grave disappointment in the minds of the consumers. Now, we will move on to a case study. I want to tell you a case study from a recent commercial, television commercials, through which are very popular. Many of us would have come across such kind of commercial. So, in a complaint against a television commercial of a popular brand's facial cream, ASCI considered the projection of the product in various mediums. Actually, one product is giving some message in the television commercial and something else in the print advertisements. So, that has been made as a complaint and ASCI looked into. The face cream related to television commercial asked a question to its viewers. So, the television part asked one question: can your cream do this in just 7 days? Take up this cream 7 days challenge. If in 7 days you do not start looking young, then you will get your money back. So, the television commercial of the face cream ad says that test this one, what you have been already using will not give such kind of effect. If it is not change your youthness or some young feeling, then the money will be returned. That is what the television advertisement said. On the other hand, the print advertisement for the same product made another statement. The facial cream does what no other anti-aging cream can. It reduces age, spots and brings about a visible change in wrinkles in the just 7 days. If it does not work, you get your money back. So, there are two claims in the for the same cream, you are making two different claims, in one in television commercial and in the print advertisement you are selling something else. So, that has been made the complaint. By comparing these two versions, the ASCI decided that the claim was false, misleading, directly demeaning and discrediting the efficacy of similar products available in the market. ASCI issued a warning to the company and the ad was dropped and removed from the air and print media. ASCI as usual, they made the listen to the complaint and they gave the warning to the face cream company to drop it, and the company also obliged and the ad was stopped in both print as well as in the television commercial also stopped. So, what we are trying to say is that the impact of advertisements on consumer choice is irrefutable. So, it has a huge impact on the audience. Number 2, it makes it vital that advertisements should be fair and truthful. Since it has a huge impact on the public from childhood to the highest level, then that should be honest and that should be straightforward. So, fair and truthful should be a content, that should be the content of the advertisements. Misleading and false advertisements are not just unethical, they distort competition and consumer choice. So, if an advertisement is misleading through its lack of information, that it has become unfair and unethical. So, it distort the ideas of the consumer. So, there is a need to make it fair and ethical way of presenting the advertisements. That is where ASCI comes into the picture. So, false and misleading advertisements violate a number of basic rights of consumers, such as the right to information, the right to choose, the right to be protected against unsafe goods and services, as well as unfair trade practices. So, when you give misleading advertisements, so it is challenging the rights of the consumer in terms of right to information, right to choose. You have to choose the right product. When you are confusing with the good quality product, then the false and deceived products will be taken up by the audience. So, there is a need to regulate this market by giving the right information and the correct information to the consumers. So, when the advertisements become misleading, what is the context in which the ads are become misleading, that we have to discuss. Then only we will come to know that how to stop that kind of misleading. When an edible oil advertisement gives you an impression that you are free of heart problems so long as you are using this particular oil, then it is misrepresenting the facts. Just by using one oil, that you cannot be free from heart problems, right. Heart problems could be due to so many factors and oil could be only one factor. When you remove the one factor, then automatically that cannot solve all the problems. So, apart from the edible oil example, I have to give you another example. It is a very common one that we come across in the television as well as in the print advertisement. This is when an advertisement of water purifier that filters only bacteria from claims that it gives 100% safe water, then it is a false advertisement. So, when a purifier claims that it pures everything from the water, then that should not be a fact, right. Scientifically, that is not possible to pure 100% bacteria or 100% content from a purified water is not possible in the market. So, when even reducing crucial information about the product into minute letters at the bottom of the advertisement could be termed as unfair trade practice, particularly if such information is not intelligible to the consumer. So, there is something called unfair trade practice. Everything should be in fair terms, right. When you are giving it in a very minute letter at the bottom of the advertisement, then that has been considered as unfair, particularly when it is a very crucial information. So, information should be honest and that should be presented in a very crucial way. So, in this context only, India witnessed the birth of Advertising Standards Council of India. The world over, there were a lot of controlling agencies available to control and regulate the market of advertisements. India actually during 1985, prominent members connected with all aspects of advertising came together and decided to accept global best practices in the field of self-regulation in advertising. Actually, we need to have self-regulation in advertising, that was felt in 1985. So, the people involved in the advertising industry, and they all came together and they formed an agency called Advertising Standards Council of India. It was observed that the specific bodies were in existence in developed markets such as the USA, UK and Germany. So, it was available in other markets, popular capital markets like UK, US and Germany. There were some self-regulating agencies available. So, India also felt that we need to have some agency so that we can have fair and ethical way of presenting advertisements. So, Advertising Standards Council of India was formed on the lines of best practices in the field of self-regulation in advertising. ASCI was instituted to voluntarily comply with a set of guidelines or rules in the code with the objective to 1. Protect consumer interest, and number 2, to ensure fair play amongst competitors. So, with this mind, there were two objectives were given to the ASCI. One is protect the interest of the consumers and also have a fair play among the competitors. So, it was registered as a company under section 25 of Indian Companies Act 1956. ASCI has been registered as a not for profit company. It is not a profit making company. It is under the Companies Act. We were able to form a society that is called Advertising Standards Council of India. If we look into the object of ASCI, there are 4 objects before this: to regulate the ad industry, to make it more fair and ethical one. Objects of ASCI are to monitor, administer and promote standards of advertising practices in India in the following aims. Number 1, honest representation. So, that is a basic thing, how to make a honest representation of facts before the consumers by making the more attractive way. So, the challenge was to make it truthful and honest to consumers and competitors. So, consider the consumers, consider the competitors and make it more truthful and honest. So, the challenge was to ensure the truthfulness and honesty of representations and claims made through advertising and safeguarding against misleading advertising. So, honest representation is to make it truthful and honest to the competitors as well as to the consumers. So, the second object is to make it non-offensive to the public within the bounds of generally accepted standards of public decency and propriety, ensuring that advertising is not offensive to generally accepted norms and standards of public decency. So, the second objective is non-offensive to the public, considering their morality and decency. Considering these two aspects, that we need to have a decent way of presenting the facts. Third aspect is against harmful products and situations, not used indiscriminately the promotion of products hazardous, harmful to society or to individuals, particularly minors, to a degree unacceptable to the society at large, which means that safeguarding against the indiscriminate use of advertising for a promotion of products or services which are generally regarded as hazardous to the society or to the individuals or which are unacceptable to society as a whole. So, anything harmful, anything unacceptable to the persons or products or services that is not being to be given to the public. That is how the object third of ASCI falls. The fourth one is fair in competition. This is the fourth and final object of ASCI, which means that not derogatory to competition, no plagiarism. Ensuring that advertisements observe fairness in competition and the canons of generally accepted competitive behavior. So, competition should be there, the choice should be there, the consumer should have a choice to choose whatever that he wants to take, but the competition should be fair enough. That is what the object 4 of the ASCII insists. So, ASCII urges consumers to complain whenever they come across advertisements that they think are false or misleading or unethical. Whenever you are coming across false, unethical and misleading advertisements, the first duty of the consumer is to make a complaint to ASCII. That is what ASCII is continuously promoting, continuously educating the audience to come to them, so that that can be taken into account. On receipt of a complaint from public or from activists, then what the ASCII is doing? ASCII seeks the comments of the advertiser and gives him or her 2 weeks to respond, and then places the response and the complaint before the consumer complaint cell of ASCII to their decision. So, they have a consumer complaint cell. That cell will collect the complaints and give a chance for the advertiser 2 weeks time to respond their version of justification. Then they inquire into the complaints. If there is no response from the advertiser, then the CCC can take an ex parte decision. So, as like all other judicial process, when there is no response, then the judge will go ahead with the ex parte judgment. The same way CCC decides when there is no response from the advertiser. The CCC has 12 non-advertising professionals, including consumer activists and 9 advertising practitioners from the member firms. So, ASCII has its own membership. From there they draw advertising industry people to justify their position, and if in the opinion of CCC an ad violates the ASCII's code, then the advertiser is asked to either withdraw the advertisement or modify it. So, CCC is very professionally behaving. They get the opinion of the advertiser and they go through that. If there is anything there, then they advise them to either modify it or to withdraw from the market. So, while the ASCII members are bound to comply with the decision of CCC in respect of others, ASCII tries to persuade them and necessarily uses peer group influence and pressures to achieve its objective. So, when there is some kind of humbleness, when the industry is not responding to the advice of the ASCII, then the ASCII persuades them through the peer group and try to convince them to obey the orders of modification or withdrawal of the such advertisement. So, this is how the ASCII is evolved and formed into one professional organization in India to regulate ethical and fair practice of advertisements in the country.